Welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. My name is Heidi, and today is day 15 of NaNoWriMo. Today I decided to do something a little bit different. The other day I mentioned that I had this cute little Lego set. This is what it looks like. It's called Have an Idea. I just thought it was adorable. It's a little coffee and bake shop. It's Lego. I don't really enjoy building Lego. I thought I could convince my brother to do it for me, but he doesn't have the time. So I took it upon myself today to play with Lego and figure it out. And so that is what I did. Before I jump ahead into not only the writing for today, but to showing you how it turned out, I did want to mention that as I was building it, I was voice to texting all of my words for the day. So I don't have any actual footage of me writing because I was busy doing other things, but I thought it was a fabulous way to not only be creative while building Lego and DIYing it, but also getting my words done. So without further ado, let me show you the cute little Listen, I Have an Idea coffee and bake house Lego set. This is it right here. It packs away into this cute little cube, and as you can see, I painted little floral decals on either side. I changed up the little front logo. It did used to say coffee and bakery, I believe, but I put Listen I, and then it had little Japanese characters because it is a little Japanese set, but I'd put little flowers on and I just customized it. The best part about the set though is that it does open up on either side. There's little flowers in the front, flowers along the side, some seating there. Up at the top, we have this little umbrella that I painted because it was the same color as this, but I wanted it to match the striping. There's this little coffee cup here, a coffee pour, that does actually move, and apparently it breaks off too. And then on the inside are the little custom details. So we have these tiny little, they're supposed to be ladybugs, but I painted this one to look like a frog. And then over here, I painted this one to look like Venusaur. I don't know how well you can see that. I just thought that they were adorable. So now our little Listen, I Have an Idea coffee and bakery, coffee and brunch bake shop, once I fix it, there we go, is now going to have a permanent home on the shelf. I have to admit, it took me so much longer than I thought it was going to. It pretty much took me all afternoon to build it and then to customize it. And that is why I was able to get so much written today. 10:48 p.m. and I have finished my words for the day. We are currently sitting at 6,544 all done through voice to text today. I'm insanely proud of that number. 6,544 words for today. I am over the moon at that number. I know that does not bring us to 50,000, so that will be tomorrow's video where we finally crack the 50,000. But I'm so impressed with myself that I was able to get so much done. Not only that, but I was able to switch gears with all of these 6,500 words. Instead of working on the two projects that I've been working on the past number of days, which is my young adult murder mystery or Stardust, I actually switched back to the very first project that I started working on, which is a revamp of my 2020 NaNoWriMo project called Campus Crush. I did the first couple of writing sprints and I've achieved a little bit in that story, but I haven't touched it since like the first couple of days. Well, today we were back at it. Not only did we finish one chapter, we finished 3 chapters with all of those words. Plus a little bit of that was planning and little nods to what I want to do in further chapters. I'm not writing it sequentially. I'm just kind of going all out of place. But the first 2 chapters that I wrote today did tie in with some of the earlier chapters that I was able to write this month. And I think it went so well. I know I say that with every single chapter that I write, but I have a really good feeling about certain chapters, knowing that even if it's not going to make it in the very final edit, at least I have words on a page that feel good enough where I can use them or use concepts in them or sentences in a final edit that will be good, make sense, drive the plot forward. What I did though for my Google Doc is I just put them all on one document, not really caring, because I just wanted to get as much out as I could all at once. So let's go transfer all of those words from Google Docs into our Scrivener and then update our NaNoWriMo page. To start off, we are going to be adding in our new chapter over on Scrivener. As you can see, we got to chapter 6, so this is going to be chapter 7. Next, I'm going to come onto Google and copy everything and paste everything in. There we go. The words I divided, and we now officially have 6,544 on our document. As you can see, we are so close to getting to that 50,000 word goal. We have less than 1,500 words now to get there. That's so exciting. Here we go. 6,544. We are feeling great about that today. Okay. I love this progress over these last 2 days. And that brings us to the end of the day. I am so pleased with the amount that we have been able to get done the last 2 days. Over 12,000 words is kind of insane. Mentally, I am pretty much ready to check out of writing creative mode. I just need a good long break. So after we get these 50,000 words, I for sure will be taking a break from writing for a while. One thing I know for sure is that my local writing guild will be meeting up monthly. So that is something I'm going to prioritize over the next several months, is making sure that I show up and show out for all of those events and just continue writing, because this past year from December 1st until October 31st, I got like no writing done. I need that outlet to be able to maintain this momentum and not get burnt out. As a bonus, on a video a couple of days ago, I asked you guys to ask me a question, and I ended up filming all of those responses yesterday. Yesterday's video, though, was extremely long and I didn't want to add extra time to it, so I cut all of that out. Today's video is a little bit shorter, so I'm going to add all of that back in. Let's do that now, and I will wrap everything back up at the end of the video for the next question of the day. 2 days ago, I had an extremely busy day, so instead of asking you a question, I had you guys ask me questions, and I figured I would answer them right now. First up, we have Kilos of Shade. They want to know, how do we celebrate success, i.e. finishing writing? I do that by traveling, and at the end of this month, I'm going on a very big trip, which I'm super excited about. That's why I'm trying to finish NaNoWriMo as quickly as possible so that I can just focus on trip mode. They also want to know the quick story of becoming a writer. In as little words as possible, I had a study hall period all throughout high school. I fell in love with reading that very quickly spiraled into loving murder mystery and wanting to possibly write murder mystery. So I plotted out an entire novel, got about 4 chapters in, put it aside for a few years, discovered NaNoWriMo, and started my writing journey in November of 2016. I've since participated in every single NaNoWriMo. I have only finished 1 manuscript, but I try to write every single year, and I have just fallen in love with it. What is the hardest part of writing for us? Would it be cliche to say sit down and actually writing? Like, I love doing everything else surrounding writing, but writing tends to be the hardest part sometimes. In all honesty, though, when I'm doing these types of events in NaNoWriMo where I'm filming, the hardest part is actually finding the time to complete everything in the day. The writing, filming, the editing, the uploading, it's that back end for me that takes up a lot more time than the actual writing does, which sometimes deters me from wanting to write or finding the time. That's why this year I've been doing a lot more dictation, because it's been saving me a lot of time and reducing a lot of my stress around the whole event. The last question is, what advice would you give for new writers? If we are talking NaNoWriMo specifically, my biggest piece of advice is do not delete words unless it's like 1 or 2 words that you need to backspace. If you have an entire sentence or paragraph, keep it in. Just bring it to the very bottom of your document so you could possibly use it later. Also, saving. You don't want to end up losing any work and either having to redo it or possibly be able to use it later for a future scene or another mode of inspiration. Having a plan in mind is also a really good idea, and just finding the right tools for you, whether it be the right writing program, the right tracker, the right planning method, just something to keep yourself organized so that way the writing becomes easier. For new writers in general, is just to find something that you're passionate about and make it work. Next set of question is from Chivalry Totem. Their first question is almost exactly what Kilos of Shade asked, which is why and when is the first time I decided to become a writer? In high school. And then in my adult life now, it's just something I'm passionate about. They say that having a hobby as an adult is very crucial to not get burnt out. And I 100% agree. Even though writing is a very easy path to get burnt out, it is a lovely hobby to have as a source of inspiration. The second question is the longest time to finish a story since started. And the answer is obviously the one that I started in high school. That's been, you know what? I'm not going to admit to how many years it is, but it is over a decade. So that would be the longest one. Next question is, do you have multiple versions of the same story? Yes, I do. Stardust, which is the 3rd project I've been working on this month, has about 4 to 5 versions of it now. I know what I want from that story, but I so thoroughly love the characters so much that I do not want to say goodbye to them. So finishing the story means that I don't get to live in their world anymore. I know that's a very silly reason for not finishing it, but I love it. I set it in New York. I love New York City so much, and there's just so much potential for it. So yeah, I have like 4 or 5 versions, and one day, one version will see the light of day. The last question is, do any of your characters star more than one of your stories? Answer is yes, that will be my star series. So the first book is Starstruck, the only manuscript I finished. Next is Stardust, then I will have 3 others that will all be named starting with the word star. All of them are interconnected romances, and in the very first book, Starstruck, you get introduced to all of the main characters of all 5 books. Maybe not by name, but they are all mentioned in that story. Next, we have Avion. Avion, thank you so much for your kind words. They really brightened up my day when I read it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Her question is, what do you do on 0 word days when life happens? Well, between December 1st and October 31st, those are usually 0 word days for me. So just everything in life happens in between. I also do a lot of traveling between December 1st and October 31st. So that's what I do on 0 word days. So far for NaNoWriMo though, I have not had a 0 word day this year. And in previous on 0 word days, I'm either super busy, super burnt out, or there's just no inspiration. I just don't want to be writing at all. So that is what happens on those 0 word days. But this year we are not going to have any 0 word days while I am participating in NaNoWriMo. As soon as I'm done though, they're all 0 word days from there. Also, to answer Chivalry Totem's other question of which side of the road I drive on, I am Canadian. We drive on the right-hand side of the road. Sometimes when you see me, I think it might be a mirrored reflection that you're seeing. But yes, I do drive on the right side of the road. And the little mount that I have in my car sticks to my windshield. So sometimes you can't see the steering wheel, especially when it is dark out. The question of the day today takes us back to Healers of Shade's question, where they asked us what my advice would be for new writers. And I want to extend that question out to you guys. What would your piece of advice be to new writers, either to writers participating in NaNoWriMo or just new writers in general? Let me know in the comments down below. The day after I finish NaNoWriMo, which probably won't be tomorrow's video, it'll be the day after, I'm going to be doing a whole compilation of all the tips and advice that I have for people participating in NaNoWriMo and just writing in general. So please leave me your advice in the comments down below. I cannot wait to go through it. That's it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, bittersweetly, for the last writing vlog of my NaNoWriMo 2024 journey. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you then, and as always, keep writing. Bye!